Ho, ho, ho there. Christmas is literally around the corner, and we are present to unwrap some exciting Christmas plans. See what I did there?
From cozy traditions to merry melodies, we'll be sharing some things that make our seasons bright, plus some reflections on this past year.
So grab your favorite holiday drink, get cozy, and tune in because it's about to get festive.
On this Yuletide episode of Just Draws.
What's up, everybody? You've tuned in to Just Drawz, the podcast that explores hot topics and various experiences among same-gender loving Black men. In each episode, we offer raw, vulnerable, and stripped-down perspectives to give voice to our frequently overlooked population. Here, we don't just scratch the surface, we dive deep, peeling back the layers of our experiences as well as heteronormative stereotypes. Let's get into this week's episode.
All right. Welcome back to another episode of the Just Draws podcast. I'm Jeff.
And I'm your boy Darius, aka DMC.
All right. And today we're coming from the ghetto side of the North Pole.
Okay. I've never been there before, so it's a little junky over here, but it's cold.
Indeed. Yeah, there's a ghetto everywhere. It's like that hood Walmart thing from a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, from a couple of episodes ago that I was still trying to figure out which one would be the hood Walmart, because I feel like they're all turning into those.
Yeah, now that we have to ask for help to actually get personal items and non-personal items now, so they put stuff up like deodorant. You got to get.
Oh, you talking about? Yeah, they lock it up. Yeah,
everything's
lock it up
locked
now.
up.
Yeah. Oh, so
All
yeah,
right.
so if deodorant is locked up, then yeah, that's the ghetto Walmart. Yeah, my Walmart, my main Walmart, is not locked up, so I can just go in and grab deodorant. Now I can't grab Drawz, but
Okay.
yeah.
Well, they steal those out the pack too. They'll just cut it open and take like one or two pairs, like.
Yeah, they just need a couple.
Just a couple, I guess.
Just to get through the weekend.
All right. So it's holiday time, and we wanted to do another holiday ho show hos.
That's right, hoes.
So for Christmas, I thought it would be cool if we did something a little different from our episode that we did last year.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about Christmas present. Last year we talked about Christmas past,
yeah,
right, and past Christmases of before, So, this year we're doing a little bit different. So, what are your plans for Christmas this year?
So you know what? For the first time in a long time, I'm actually 93.75822% sure that I am going to go back home for Christmas this year. So usually I have something else going on. I'm usually visiting somebody else, or I'm just kind of hanging out here at the crib. I just kind of would have just come back from being home for Thanksgiving, because I always go home for Thanksgiving. But this year I was like, you know what? I'm going to go home for Christmas this year, because I don't have anyone special to go visit. I don't have I know, right? Cue the violins, but I don't have anything going on this year, so this Christmas. So I was like, all right, I will just go home and enjoy that. I didn't get to see everybody that I wanted to at Thanksgiving, so this will give me a chance to do that. What about you?
Yeah, that's good. That's nice. Well, this year I'm not going home myself. I'm 100% not going home to visit my family this year. I have a trip up to Helen, Georgia, planned. So doing a Friendsmas, not a Friendsgiving, Friendsmas.
Is it a naked nude Friendsmas?
It may be some nudity involved. These are clothing optional friends, so of course some want to be naked all the time. Other people probably won't. But yeah, so doing the Friendsmas. So going to be
naked nude Friendsmas, everybody. Naked nude Friendsmas. But go ahead.
Yes, because that's how we roll. One of the things that I do. But yeah, so gonna be doing that. So it'll be interesting because I've always normally been around family
Mm-hmm.
during Christmas time, or someone that I was dating, their family I would see during
Mm-hmm.
Christmas. So this will be the first time that I've been completely around no family, just straight up friends. So it'll be interesting to just have that experience. Um, so I'm looking forward to that.
Now, how
So it'll be
far
a
is
week.
Helen, Georgia from Atlanta?
I'm not 100% sure. I think it's probably about 2.5 hours, maybe.
Okay. And is
Could be
this
a
like
little
a
bit more than that.
cabin situation?
Yeah, it's a cabin situation, but Helen is, if you've seen, or listeners, if you've seen the episode of the show Atlanta, there's an episode where they went to Helen, and Zazie Beetz, her character, spoke German in that episode. I don't remember the exact details, but Zazie Beetz, I think she's part German too, so she can speak it fluently. And so they
Mm-hmm.
use that in that episode. But from my understanding is Helen is a real um, uh, Christmassy town. They really get into the holidays up there, so it's supposed to be a lot of stuff going on. So I'm looking forward to just having that experience just around that area. That'll probably help me get into the Christmas spirit even more. Not that I'm never in it, but usually for me, I never really get into it until like right before Christmas. So
Like how long before Christmas? Like the day before, or?
usually prior to the pandemic, when I would actually go and buy stuff or buy
Mm-hmm.
gifts in a store, I would feel it a lot more just going through that process of the retail hustle and bustle, and all of that. And usually, like right before Christmas, that would be like my peak holiday spirit time. Um, so yeah, but normally, I've been a little bit more into it these last couple of years. But yeah, this year I know that'll probably make it real peak high point this year, just because I'll be around all of that Christmas stuff. I'm not one of those people like, oh, it's Christmas. I will say that it was interesting that even before Thanksgiving, the store at home, I don't know if you've been recently, but they was playing Christmas music nonstop, like right before Christmas, which was
Well, I
interesting.
know that the Salvation Army bell ringers are out
Yeah.
now, and I saw at one of the Walmarts here, I saw that the bell ringer, they still had the little red bucket that you can put change and money in and all of that, but
Hmm.
he had QR codes on his that you could scan and make a donation that way. I was like, yeah,
Of
that's how you get
course.
people, because normally you can just walk out. I'm that guy that's like, oh no, I don't have any cash. I don't carry any cash.
I don't
But
have
now
any
they're like,
cash.
hey, guess what? Here we go. Look at this. Scan this right here. But
Well,
the increments were interesting. It was like $5, $10, and 20. Like it wasn't like you could scan it and give them
uh,
a quarter and a nickel and a dime.
So wait. So when you scan the QR code, you couldn't tell it like, oh, I want to only send y'all $1.
I
Like
don't
there was
know.
a
All I
five
saw
dollar.
was, I saw a $5 QR code, a $10 QR code, and a $20 QR code.
Okay, interesting. But I'm not even mad at it because we got people trying to sell us water and clean our windshields for cash, and if
Bruh.
you tell them I don't have cash, oh, I got Cash
I
App,
got
I
Cash
got
App.
Zelle.
I've done that. I've done that before. I've Cash Apped somebody that cleaned my windows here, and then interestingly enough, later they actually sent me a message on Cash App
Mhm.
asking for some money, and I had no idea who it was. I was like, I don't know who this is, and then it dawned on me that this was somebody whose Cash App that I had actually taken before and sent them, $2 or $3 for cleaning my windshield. But I did have
Interesting.
a question about your cabin trip. Now, have you checked the weather? Is it going to be cold there, as
It's
you
probably
know?
gonna be
Or
cold. Not
okay,
really concerned. I mean, I don't
and
really plan
and
on
naked.
leaving the cabin like that.
Okay,
So it's you pay money to be in there. I'm gonna be in the cabin. I'm not gonna be really exploring Helen like that. I figure there'll be like a day of doing that. Then after
hmm,
that, I just want to like chill and vacate. I
and
don't
look
want to
around,
be
take
in a
in the sights.
situation where when I'm on a trip we haven't really done a trip together in a minute, but I like to actually enjoy the space that I'm in, and then I like to actually do some things, but I don't want to be on a trip that's on rails and there's an itinerary where we got to do this, we got to do that, we got to do that. I want to have, okay, let's do this. Okay, let's do that. The rest of the time, I've spent money to be in this lodging. I want to be in the lodging.
Yeah, we're similar in that, because when I go on vacation, I don't want to do shit. I just want to sit around and relax. And if I have one or two things to do, that's fine. But I don't want to have an itinerary, like you said.
Yeah. So what gets you in the Christmas spirit?
When the semester is over.
Okay.
So if you all know, or you all have been listening long enough, I am a college professor, and when the semester is officially over and I have graded the last paper and I have heard the last excuse about I don't want to let anybody down and I can't fail this class, and can you please help me out, and can I turn in some old shit? After I've gone through all of that and the stages of grief, that come from the students, then I'm pretty much in the Christmas spirit then, because I'm in relax mode, or I'm in let me prep real quick for next semester, so then I can really be in relax mode by the time Christmas comes around. So that's my litmus test. It has been that for, gosh, I've been teaching since 2001. So ever since then, that's been when I get mostly in the Christmas spirit.
Okay.
And the Christmas mood too. So
yeah. I mean, this is a time a lot of people can feel a little down. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So hopefully.
Have you ever felt that during Christmas?
Not really. I can't recall any recent time where I've kind of been in the dumps during Christmas time. Normally it's exciting because I'm either getting myself something that I've wanted to get, or someone's getting me something, or had been getting me something when I was younger. So I never associated it with anything negative.
Yeah. I don't tend to get down either. I think that this year there might be a little period or a point where I might feel a little down, just because I'd be thinking back to last year. And if you all listen back to a previous episode, the just circling the block part 2, I talk about that. So there's a potential for me to get there. I don't know. I haven't felt that yet, but we'll see if that happens this year. But right now I'm good. I'm like you. I haven't really experienced that. That's I know good. That you said you're going to the cabin, which is a little bit different than what you normally do. So is this going to potentially be like a tradition for you?
I don't think so.
Okay.
The opportunity presented itself. I was like, oh yeah, cool. I'm down for going to that. And just kind of went from there. So I don't know if it'll be a yearly thing or every other year thing. My plans are for next year, since I am not going to be visiting my family for Christmas this year, to go see them next Christmas and probably skip on Thanksgiving next year. But remains to be seen. But right now, that's what I'm thinking.
Okay, got you. This year, with me going home, one of the things that my stepfather's side of the family, my pop side of the family, that side of the family does like a big family dinner the Sunday before Christmas. And so I haven't been to that in years, because again, I haven't been home. And so I'm hoping that they're going to do that this year. And if they are, then I'll be at home to actually go to that. And I'll get a chance to see a bunch of people that I hadn't seen in a while, and kind of catch up with people and stuff like that. So I'm really excited about that. And then my biological father's side of the family, my dad's side, they do a little something on Christmas Eve. And so usually I'm not at home for that. So they'll sometimes video chat me in, and I'll get a chance to kind of see who's there and speak to everybody. But this year I'll get a chance to actually go. They're doing PJs. So I said, nice. I'm just going to take a onesie and some Christmas socks, and that's what it's going to be.
So is there going to be a photo? I'm sure there's going to be a family photo. You don't want to?
I
Oh,
don't
okay.
care. Yeah, I don't care about stuff like that. We take selfies, and I
Yeah.
think sometimes we have done like a big group. If everybody's there, we'll just do kind of one big group photo or whatever. But and we did Christmas. They did Christmas cards one year where everybody sent in a photo and they did the Christmas card. That way, they kind of did a collage of all of the family.
Okay.
And I don't know what's going to happen. We'll see. But like I said, we do selfies, and that'll be what it is. I guess. I don't know.
Okay. Cool. So speaking of traditions,
Mm-mm,
um, do you have a tradition that you normally do every year for Christmas?
mm-mm. I
No?
haven't had Thanksgiving is the big traditional kind of thing for me because Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday, followed closely by Halloween. So, but Thanksgiving is my favorite, and there's always traditions for Thanksgiving,
Okay.
but there's never really traditions for Christmas because again, I don't go home that often. I usually go home twice a year in the summer for about a week and a half, and then I go home for Thanksgiving for about a week and a half. So there isn't really anything traditional that I'm looking forward to or that I usually endure or I not endure. That's not the word I want to use, but well, actually, it might be the word I want to use because sometimes you have to endure certain things.
Yeah.
But there isn't anything that, like I said, I look forward to or anything that stands out as far as Christmas because everything is always so different and everybody's not around for
hmm
Christmas.
Yeah, that's the thing too. I think with Thanksgiving, it's a little bit easier to arrange family gatherings just because most people will have that Thursday and Friday off.
Hmm.
And then if you're in corporate America, you probably had the whole week off.
Hmm.
Now that schools normally take that as a break, a week break. Now, when before, when I was coming up, you know, we got
Voices.
that
Voices.
Thursday and Friday off, and then that was it. We had to work. I remember, I had to be at school, and I remember they, served that turkey and dressing in the cafeteria that Wednesday before
Hmm.
Thanksgiving. Like, now, I used to say, don't nobody want that. But adult me that knows a little bit more about
Hmm.
life and other people's struggles, I know that kids, that probably was their Thanksgiving meal. So you live, you learn, you grow.
Yeah.
Um, I don't have a Christmas tradition that I look forward to. I do like the process of, like I said before, going to the store and doing all that, doing the shopping and stuff. But I like to wrap gifts.
Yeah, I do
Um,
too.
yeah, and that
I am
kind of
a
came
master rapper.
right, and that kind of came from Christmas '86 episode last year where I
Hmm.
was explaining about how I unwrapped the gift and that's how I learned how to wrap.
Hmm.
So I do look forward to wrapping gifts, and I don't wrap every gift. I love a box or a gift bag, but
I hate gift
I will
bags.
go. What's that?
I said I hate gift bags.
I like them. They're recyclable. You can use them for different things. If you get something that's plain, you can use it for another holiday or an event. But
What
yeah,
I
I, I,
really
I
hate
like to
about it,
wrap.
yeah, what I really hate about it is tissue paper. I hate tissue
Mm,
paper because I can never figure out how to put the tissue paper in the bag. I mean, sure, most people are just stuff it in there, but it never looks right to me.
hmm
So people who know how to put the tissue paper properly in the gift bag, reach out, put something in the comments about how to do this effectively. But that's why I hate gift bags because I hate tissue paper. But
mm.
otherwise, I agree with you on bags being recyclable and usable and stuff like that. I have a bag in my Christmas box right now that is just sitting in there. And I'm like, okay, when am I ever going to use this?
Yeah, I'm not a person that's the best at wrapping gifts, but I can wrap it well enough where it looks fine. My thing is they're just gonna rip it open anyway, so I don't have to be too fancy with it. But I
Hmm.
do want to make sure that it looks nice and doesn't look thrown together. So yeah, no.
Yeah, I love wrapping gifts. Like I said, I'm a master rapper, so I love to wrap gifts. I've become bougie in my
Oh
old
Lord,
age. Yeah, and I have to get good wrapping paper now. Like I used to be able to go to Dollar Tree and get that dollar roll,
no.
excuse me, $1.25 now. But
Mm-mm.
no, I have to go get good wrapping paper because it doesn't cut right. and it doesn't fold right, and then it tears, and
It
then
tears. That is tissue paper.
yeah,
That wrapping
exactly,
paper.
exactly. That tissue ass paper. Yeah, nobody want that. So I go to Target and go get good wrapping paper now.
Oh, okay.
If I have to wrap, but again, I'm not buying shit. I was just talking to my brother about that. I was like, "Are you buying anything for Christmas this year?" He was like, no, maybe myself something." And I said, "Okay, got you." I was like, because I don't know, bah
Yeah.
humbug sometimes.
I mean, I get that too. Because if you don't have people that you normally like give presents to,
Hmm.
it's kind of like I always give my mom something, I always give my sister something.
Hmm.
So this year, since I'm not going to be there, it's just going to be whatever Amazon does, or if I send it to my sister and tell her, "Hey, wrap this," I know she'll take care of it for me. Um, but yeah, I can get that if you don't really have people that you plan on really giving gifts, because a lot of people would be like, now, "Hey, gift card me. I want an Amazon card. I want a Best Buy
Hmm.
card. I want an Apple card." Just give them that, put it in a card or a little card box, and call it a day.
I'm gonna probably get some stuff for I have two young nephews, and I will probably get some stuff for them, but that will probably be the extent of what I buy. Actually, my brother did tell me he got me something, so I might dig around and see if I can find something for him. But that's it. Other than that, or my youngest brother, I should say, because I have a few of those. But yeah, my youngest, my baby brother. But that's it. Other than that, I'm not buying too much of anything, and I really don't expect for anything. Expect
Yeah.
anybody to buy me anything. I'm like, okay, I'm good. You don't. I have what I want. I have what I need. So I don't particularly need anything.
Yeah, I'm at that stage too. Like, I don't really have a Christmas wish list or a Christmas list
Hmm.
because as I've gotten older, I feel like there's something I want, I just go out and get it or save up for it or plan to purchase it. And because a lot of discounts are around this time of year,
Hmm.
I will wait until a good discount comes up, wish list something. Amazon will tell me, "Hey, what you wish listed is on sale now. You could
Hmm.
just get it and call it a day." I don't have to wait for a day to just get something that I want, some
Right.
material item. So I'm gonna just
Hmm.
get it and enjoy it.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Is there
Yeah.
anything that you would have on your wish list right now?
Um, you know, for me, I normally save big purchases for myself.
Hmm.
Something that I do not need that I know no one is going to purchase me would probably be one of those fancy 65-inch OLED TVs that are like an eighth of an inch thick.
Hmm.
Something that I completely do not need. Don't watch enough TV for that to really justify it, but it
Hmm.
would be nice to have.
Okay. That's not unrealistic though.
It's not unrealistic, but they aren't cheap.
Okay.
OLED
Okay.
TV is like the highest tech that you can get.
Hmm.
So yeah, you're looking at a good couple of thousands for a nice one.
My wish list for you is to get your windshield fixed on your car.
We're not doing that.
I would love for that. That's my
Yeah,
Christmas wish. That is my
yeah. Well, that's not a gift. So
yeah, that's my Christmas wish for you. So,
Yep. So, speaking of wishes and gifts, you mentioned
mhm,
that Thanksgiving was your favorite holiday, and so we know that was
mhm,
a big food holiday.
mhm.
You got any Christmas food you're looking forward to, or was that just only a Thanksgiving thing?
We can run Thanksgiving back. We can
Okay.
double back. We can spin the block on Thanksgiving. I am good on that because I can. My favorite holiday food is dressing. Now,
Mm,
for our listeners out there, there's a difference between dressing and stuffing.
definitely.
Stuffing is inside of the bird. It's something that is, you scoop out with a spoon and you put it in the bird, you cook it in the bird, all of that. Dressing is in a pan that you cut a square out of or a few squares out of, and you scoop that out and put it on your plate. So dressing is what I'm about. So I could eat that. And I actually brought some back from Thanksgiving that my mom had put aside for me in a container. So that's in my freezer now. So I could pull that out in February if I wanted to and go in and let have, but we can definitely run Thanksgiving back for Christmas. But I know that a lot of people are like, I don't want that same stuff again for Christmas. So people try to do a little something different. They do seafood, which I don't eat seafood. So they'll do, that, or
seafood in general, or seafood dressing.
Seafood.
Okay. Yeah, I just want to make sure, because some people make seafood dressing. So
yeah, I've heard of that before. I don't think I've had any, but I just, I don't eat seafood. So for everybody out there, I don't eat seafood. I will eat fish every now and again, but it's usually in the form of a sandwich from somewhere, but I don't eat seafood. So a lot of times when my family or people that I'm around are like, oh, we're going to do seafood for Christmas, I'm like, okay, well, what else are you having? Like, if you're doing a crab boil, give me those potatoes and the sausage, but that's all I want. So
yeah. So, and just to clarify, so you're not allergic to seafood. That's
I'm
not
the
allergic.
issue. I just don't particularly eat it.
Yeah, I was going to say, because if you were, you probably couldn't eat the potatoes and sausage that was cooked with the seafood. So
right, yeah, no. I'm not allergic. I just don't care for it, and that's all seafood. So I don't eat shrimp. I don't eat crab legs. I don't eat lobster. I don't eat any of that stuff. Salmon, like that. Like I said, I may eat fish every now and again, but it's rare. Do you have any Christmas foods that you are looking forward to? I mean, well, you're going to the cabin, so.
Yeah, so usually when I'm going home or around family, like my mom makes dressing all year long. That's not something that she only makes during Christmas time. So she may make that with, a baked hen or turkey wings in the oven. So I love dressing
every time
too.
she make it. Yep.
I would eat it every time. Dressing too, but it's not exclusive for the winter time for us.
Okay.
My favorite thing that my mom makes for Christmas are, and she only makes it during this time, are mincemeat cookies.
You've talked about those.
Yeah, they're really good. It's a unique flavor. If you don't know what mincemeat is, it's this, I guess, English type of thing. But what you can buy here in the States is this mixture that's nuts, it's fruits, it's citrus peel, a little, I guess, alcohol, like a spirit, sugar, nuts. And I think the American version has just a little bit of beef in it just to qualify it as meat. But I believe in the UK, the mincemeat has a lot more meat in it, but it's sweet. You can mix it into the cookie batter or dough, and it just kind of bakes in, and you'll get a taste of that all throughout. So, yeah, mincemeat cookies would be my favorite thing that my mom makes. Other than that, commercially, Target makes this butter toffee popcorn that you can only get during this time of year, and I go crazy for that stuff. But this year I said I'm only getting one canister. I've had that canister. I'm not going to Target to order another one. I'm good. That one canister is it. Trying to reach some goals.
So how many canisters have you bought in the past?
Usually I'll get like maybe 3 or 4.
Okay.
Each season.
And are they like those big tubs, or is it like?
It's like a tall. It's about this big. I would say. I don't know how much it holds. But it's fairly tall. I think it's over a foot in length.
Okay.
But yeah, it's it's sizable.
Okay.
It's bigger than a box of Crunch and Munch.
Okay. And it's bigger. Is it bigger than a Whitman sampler?
I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't think of anything that really kind of.
That's the Christmas thing too.
Yeah, I would say if you took a large jar of peanut butter and put like 2 of them on top of each other, that's about what I think it would be.
Okay. Okay. Well, that's not super huge. I was thinking like those big tubs that like you sit down and you can hold in your arm like
Oh,
this and
no, no,
just
no. It's
yeah.
not.
Okay.
It's not like that. No, no. It's a canister. It's slender.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
But that
Gotcha.
would be one of my favorite commercial foods. But we normally have something a little more elevated and fancy for Christmas. Like we used to have duck, maybe ham. If we didn't have ham for Thanksgiving, um,
And
we've had
dressing.
and dressing.
Hmm.
Cornish hens, which aren't really. I don't consider them fancy. Some people think that they're fancy. They're just little ass chickens.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've had those. So because normally I think my mom wants to sit in the kitchen all day on Christmas. She wants to just get that in and out. But
Okay.
a little bit more fancy than turkey, but not as much food.
Hmm.
And then
Yeah.
like you said, Christmas time, you don't have the traffic that you have coming through as you
Hmm.
would on Thanksgiving. On Thanksgiving, so many people are around, so
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
may get a lot of people visiting. Just so you're going to have a spread. Christmas
Hmm.
normally isn't a big spread like that.
Okay. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. I know that you mentioned earlier about Christmas music being played early on. So,
Hmm.
do you have any songs that you look forward to hearing?
I have a couple of songs that I like. Um, um, So if I'm gonna go with like when I was a kid, probably my favorite Christmas song was the Chipmunk song by Alvin and the Chipmunks.
Hmm.
Um, the crazy voices and all that stuff, but
The
they
ones
have
that you
like a
do
little
now?
bit. I don't sound like chipmunks, so has nothing to do with me.
Okay.
Um,
Was that
but
the
they have a little.
inspiration though for
No,
your
not even
voices? Okay.
inspiration. No,
Okay.
that
All right.
that never. That just kind of comes up. It's
Okay.
just part of where I'm at now.
Who
Like
you
I'll
are.
just do a little, voice or whatever, but it's
Hmm.
nothing that I really premeditate and do. It's just kind of
Okay.
like it comes up.
Hmm.
But yeah, I like that song because they do a little bit in the front of it, and Alvin's trying to do something all crazy, and
Right.
you know, it was just a cool song. So yeah, the Chipmunk song, you can look for it on Spotify, YouTube. That and I want to say I'll pull it up into modern times. I think my favorite Christmas song that I like to listen to that's recent is "When Christmas Comes" by Mariah and John Legend.
Hmm.
That version of that song, she has a version by herself, I think, but I like the duet version.
How old is that? Do you know?
Um, I believe that came out before I moved here. So it's probably about 11 years old. I think it came out on MC2 when she did Merry Christmas 2. I think it's on that album.
I'm
So
not
it's
sure.
it's it's old.
I had the first one, her first album, but I don't know that I bought that second one, or if I'm even familiar with that song. I'll have to look that up.
Yeah, I don't remember where I heard it originally, but that's one of my favorite Christmas songs is that. No.
Okay.
What about yourself? I know you, Mr. Music Head, gotta have a couple.
I do. I do. On repeat every single year is Let It Snow by Boys to Men.
Hmm.
On repeat. I can listen to that whole album front to back, their Christmas Interpretations album. I could listen to that front to back and, not have a problem sing pretty much all the songs. There's a few songs on there that I usually will skip through, or if I'm listening to it while I'm doing stuff or
Hmm.
working or, doing stuff around the house or just kind of chilling out, I'll let it play through. But yeah, most of those songs I already know. So Let It Snow by Boyz II Men is absolutely on repeat. That's the one I look forward to. I'll
Okay.
say it like that. There are some other songs that I like, but I don't have to necessarily hear every year.
Hmm.
I actually have a playlist on Apple Music that I call Christmas. I call it Christmas Interpretations, and it's just a bunch of different songs that I like over the years. Brandy just came out with a Christmas CD last year, so I pulled some stuff from her album. I love some of that stuff. If we go all the way back to the Emotions, they had What Do the Lonely Do at Christmas, so I like that. And gosh, there's the Braxtons just did a Christmas album maybe a few years ago, so I pulled some stuff from that. So I like covers. I've learned that I like covers of songs versus new songs, new music. So it's rare that I like new music. It has to really hit for me to like something new. But I love to hear an artist that I like cover a song and give it like a different interpretation. With the exception of people have been talking about Jennifer Hudson's album. I think it's out now, I guess. There was all I've heard is the first song. I've heard Jingle Bells, and I'm going, okay, like, yeah, this is a lot. This is a lot already. Like, ma'am. So there might be some other things on there because I like Jennifer, but there might be some other things on there that don't involve so much, as we call it in the South, Holland.
Right.
And all of that, for a simple little song, but I don't know.
All them
runs, black people. Yeah. And all that hollering, so, but that's Screamifer, Screamifer Hudson. That's what she does. So,
but what about that? What I like about Christmas music is that it's one of those genres that, at least for black people, you will hear music that is old on the radio today. And you're not going to get that with any other genre. You're going to hear What Do the Lonely Do at Christmas. You're going to hear Santa Claus is coming.
Silent Night.
Yeah, you're going to hear Santa Claus is coming to town, Jackson 5, Johnny Mathis. You're going to hear all of those old songs played on black radio only during this time because people like the originals most of the time. And then, like you said, if a newer artist does a Christmas album, most of the time it's like, oh, okay, that's cute. I want to listen back to that original version.
Let me listen to this old stuff, yeah. Play some of that old stuff, yeah.
Right. Give me that Donny Hathaway version. I don't want this new school. I want that original. Yeah. So yeah.
And I'm like that too. I'm a traditionalist when it comes to some of that Christmas music. Like, give me a song that I can sing along with you, not something I have to learn that's brand new. Because I think people are a lot of artists sometimes are looking for that Mariah Carey, All I Want Is You, or All I Want for Christmas Is You kind of feel and that commercial success that got. But I don't know that we're going to see another song like that hit the way that song has. And, to the point that as soon as Halloween is over, people start playing it. And, and she comes out with the "It's Time," with the whistle, note. And I'm like, yeah, it's not time, people. It's not.
It's not time until after Thanksgiving.
After Thanksgiving. Yeah, after Thanksgiving. Then it's time, after that. But not before that.
Exactly. Yeah. My thing with that is there's very few artists that are out right now that sing that I feel like would be able to even do that type of crossover effect of a Christmas song. When Mariah came out, it had a video. I'm not too sure how many Christmas songs actually had videos even, and I think that probably helped it too. But I mean, the song was really good. She had a good run with it, even then. But it's definitely an endearing song, but I just don't think there's too many artists that are out now that would be able to do it. There are some, but I don't think that those artists, as far as I know, don't really like write their music the way that she does or did, or I guess does, because she still writes music. But yeah, that I don't see it. Now, I'm not saying that it's never going to happen again. But I mean, eventually, there'll be someone that does something similar. But I think we probably got another generation before we see that.
Yeah. I don't see it because, like you said, it's a lot of talking and spitting poetry over a track.
Yeah, in 3 minutes and 30 seconds or less now, because
If
we got to
that,
get those
right? Yeah.
streams. We got to get those streaming numbers up. So the song got to be 2 minutes now.
Mm-hmm. which is ridiculous, but yeah, sometimes you're just getting into the song at 2 minutes. Your body
Song
roll,
already over.
is just starting to get into form, come into form at 2 minutes. But
look, ain't no bridge, ain't no breakdown,
no vamp, nothing.
ain't no piano solo or nothing these days.
Ain't no sax solo.
Nope.
A guitar riff.
The song
shit.
ends and
song
that's
is
it.
over. Stop. Cut. Go.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Hey there, listeners. We've got something exciting in the works. A live show. And we need your help to make it unforgettable.
That's right. We put together a quick survey to learn what you love to see, hear, and experience at our live event.
Now, it'll only take a few minutes, and your input will help us create a show that truly connects with you.
So scan the QR code or check the link in the bio and let your voice be heard. We can't wait to bring this to life together.
We thank you for being a part of our community, and we'll see you soon.
And speaking about stopping and cutting, so Christmas is always the end of the year. We've got 7 days left after Christmas Day. So wrapping things up for the year, you got any goals that you reached this year that you're proud of or accomplishments for 2024?
I do. I have, at the top of the year, I started working with a good friend of mine, mutual friend of both of ours, actually, who is a nutrition coach. And we had talked about, my nutrition prior. I was going to the gym, been going to the gym, all of that stuff, but my eating was trash. And so I started working with him, and I have, with working with him and looking at macros and all of that shit, I have lost 30 pounds this year. So that has been
all right.
Definitely something that I guess I was expecting, but I wanted it. I wanted more, but I understand why it wasn't as much. It was, I'm just kind of slow walking it. And so I'm not tripping about that, but I am noticing that, my clothes are not fitting like they used to. And I'm trying on stuff and putting on stuff and I'm going, okay, this is too big. This doesn't look right. I don't want to wear this anymore. So, I'm really proud of that. And it's been rough going, a couple times I've wanted to kind of give up because I'm like, okay, look, the scale's not moving. This shit is stalled out. I don't know what's going on. But, he's been there with me and he's hung in there. And so I really appreciate him for that. And so, I can see, more of the same next year. I'm not trying to get super small again like I used to be. But I definitely have, about another 20 or 30 that I want to kind of get off. And then I'll feel a little bit better.
Okay.
What about you?
Cool. Well, congrats on that.
Thank you,
that's still more than 2 pounds a month. So that's steady. Yeah. Slow and steady wins the race.
Wins the race.
When it comes to that. Told. So. Right. Because people can drop a lot of weight and then turn around and pick it right back up just as fast, if not faster. So
because Thanksgiving was that moment. I got back on the scale after Thanksgiving and I was like, you are shitting me. And I was like, okay, nah, we getting ready to get this right back because I ate like I wanted to at Thanksgiving.
Well, your nutritionists / trainers are going to get you. So
yeah, but I'm almost back down to what I was prior to Thanksgiving. So I'm like, okay, it only took me a week to bounce back.
Good. All right. Well, for me, I'm glad that I expanded my social circle more this year. I feel like I have a little bit larger cast of people that if I needed to or wanted to just hang out, I could be like, hey, what you doing? What's up? And I can probably hang out, meet someone for lunch, or hang out at the movies and, just call it a day.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing major, not, saying that I'm trying to recruit a whole new slew of best friends. But I had the bandwidth for some more people. I was able to increase that. Some people kind of ebbed and flowed in and out.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I feel like I've got a pretty good balance. For me, I'd rather at this point, just kind of focus on the people that I know now, and we'll see if 2025 expands the circle a little bit more, if I have the
Mm-hmm.
bandwidth for more people to hang out with.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm glad for that, for me personally, that I was able to socialize a little bit more this year. So
Yeah, I did. I noticed that because there was a point where, you were telling me about people and I was like, okay, now who is this? Who
mhm,
is that? And I don't remember shit. So you naming names and I was like, okay, now who is this again?
right.
Okay, now tell me who this person was. Okay, is this the person that did this, or is this the person that went with you to this place? Or that
hmm
no, that was so and so. No, this was so and so. Okay, I don't know. So yeah, I'm definitely glad that you have expanded that, a little bit more, and that you have people who are filling your tank as it relates to your social interaction and social engagement, considering I don't live in Atlanta. So,
hmm
but like I've always told you, I am still the best
The
friend. Everybody else can be, among the number, but I am the best
the
friend. So yeah,
Indeed.
as long
Yeah,
as
you're
they
not
know.
going nowhere.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah, you're not going nowhere. Um, so that brings me to this question then. So, you know, what challenges taught you the most this year? I know that losing weight is a struggle. It's definitely a struggle that I have dealt with previously.
Hmm.
You know, have experienced and gone up and down myself. But I will say this year, I've learned that professionally, I've had to do more with less. And that's been something that has just been uh, a little hard to kind of deal with. Like I've learned how to compromise and like work around certain things, but professionally, I've had more demanded of me at work,
Hmm.
and things have gotten a little bit more scrutinized. And so that kind of creates this. Okay, I do like my job. This is an extra little task. I don't like doing this task, but
Okay.
I like to have money. I like to pay my bills and things like that. So I have to just kind of endure this, um, and work on, making that better for myself. But yeah, being a little bit more patient this year, um, and not jumping the gun on my first thought when it comes to making certain decisions and choices, and just giving myself a little bit more time to breathe and think things through a lot more. Um, so yeah, that's been my thing. Is just dealing with some professional challenges and stuff like that that I think everyone goes through. But this year's been um, a little different from previous years for me.
I don't know that I've had any challenges per se this year. I did start therapy earlier this year,
Okay.
and that was definitely cathartic for me, being able to kind of talk through some things. I started therapy due to a specific situation, but talking with someone else who is a third party and someone who is impartial
Right.
to what you're going through and what you may be experiencing, and just can kind of give you an outside looking in perspective, is something that I valued. Now, I haven't really talked to my therapist in a while because I got busy with work and a bunch of other things. But I do plan on reaching back out to her, and potentially starting those sessions back up again. But like I said, it wasn't a challenge, but it was something that I grew from. And again, I can be a bit of a I can be a bit of a hard ass when it comes to certain things, and I'm very black and white when it comes to certain things. And so hearing another perspective did help me understand a different point of view or a different vantage point for looking at something. And I think that's always something that we need to have in our tool belt, and our back pocket, that, okay, look, we can look at this way, but we need to kind of make sure that we're seeing it from all angles and all sides, so that when we're dealing with other people and when we have to continue to navigate in our own space, that we're not being so rigid and that we're not being so asinine about whatever that situation is. So again, it wasn't really a challenge, but going through therapy definitely has taught me how to, not that I didn't have it, but it really put into perspective how I need to kind of move in certain spaces. So I'm grateful for that. Yeah.
Yeah. So you've had some breakthroughs in your sessions?
Yeah, a little bit of breakthrough. It's not stuff that I couldn't see before, but it was stuff that, again, like I said, I tend to be very hard ass or very rigid with certain things, and sometimes I can't see the other side of it. But now when I'm talking about it, I go, okay, I can see where I potentially am overthinking something, or where I am potentially being too harsh in my process or in my thought process of whatever this is.
Okay. All right. Having someone that's impartial, doesn't have any skin in the game, definitely can help, because they can let you see things from a perspective that you may not have considered, and give you that critical analysis.
That's right. That's
that you
me.
may not have considered. So
that's
awesome.
my other alias for you all out there, critical analysis. So, because that's what I do. I analyze everything. I ask a bunch of questions. I break shit down, break it apart, and then I try to figure out how the pieces fit back together.
Yeah. Yeah. He definitely does that. Definitely. Yeah. So leading into that, then, as a challenge, for me, like I mentioned earlier, was this year I wanted to get into better shape. And I did the exact opposite. I actually got into worse shape, which is interesting, because having been a person that was in pretty good shape, and being in the shape that I'm in now, it's interesting how I feel like I'm perceived and how people treat me, versus when I was smaller and thinner. Not super thin. I've never been a super thin guy, but just having a smaller stomach. I feel like I've gotten a little bit different reactions from people than where I'm at now. And I'm not one of those people that's like, oh no, they're treating me differently because I'm fat. That's not me, because I've been on both sides of this scale. So when I was smaller, people were a little bit nicer to me. I got a lot more attention from the opposite and same sex. Now I don't feel like I get as much. The funny thing about that, or interesting thing about that, is that I am happier in the way that, hey, I'm accepting myself in this current state. Whereas when I was a little bit more in shape with lower body fat, I was a lot more critical of myself. And I'm not so much now. I still have the goal of getting in shape again for 2025. I'm already on the road to that. I've gotten in shape before. Don't see this being an issue now. I know what I need to do in order to accomplish that. Excuse me. So that's not an issue for me, because at the same time, as we mentioned earlier, this podcast and previous podcasts, now that I go to these nudist events, I'm comfortable in this body now. If I had this confidence when I was smaller, who knows what I would have been getting myself into. So
would have been a ho.
yeah. So, I feel like being in this mental state that I'm in now, and once I get into the shape that I want to be, or just a better shape, not necessarily, trying to look like a IG model or one of those popular thick guys. But I feel like I'll have a good balance. And then also the other thing with me too is, health concerns. Like before I got in a really good shape, I was concerned about my blood pressure being high. I have elevated blood pressure now, so that's
Right.
definitely a key motivator for me to get in shape as well. So it's multi goals here with this for me. So it's not just about um, feeling that I can just buy any pair of pants that I want to at Old Navy or anything like that. It's more of I want to be here as long as I can.
Yeah.
So, and part of that will be overall just being in better health, not necessarily in better shape. So, but
Yeah. I
that's
need you
definitely
to be
something
around.
yeah. So that's
Yeah.
definitely something that I wanted to do this year and just did not. But me, I'm not a person that waits for the
Hmm.
clock to turn to midnight on January 1st. I've already started,
Hmm.
working on getting in better shape now. So,
You made the comment about people being nicer to you when you were smaller,
mhm.
and you said you don't feel like it's that much, or it's not that so much now.
I just feel like in general, like if I talk to random people or let's say strike up a conversation with someone that I think may be attractive,
Hmm.
not necessarily a thin or a body guy or whatever, I feel like the reactions that I've gotten lately have been a little more negative than
Really?
what they were when I was smaller.
Hmm.
Yeah.
That's interesting. It's interesting to hear that, because you were just talking about how your social circle has expanded so
Mhm.
much, and so that just feels really dichotomous in
S-
that term, in that
So
way.
I think it's because the people that I've surrounded myself with now don't care about that,
Okay.
or they're in the same shape that I'm in, a little bit better, a little bit worse. It's not like there's this big grand scale of that. Because even in new to society, you're going to see people that are of the population. So you're going to see guys that are overweight. You're going to see guys that are muscle. You're going to see guys that are swimmers build. You're going to see guys that are slim thick. So you're going to get that wide range of people. Just because it's not something that's limited to people that are of a certain size or anything. But the core group of people that I'm around, they don't really care about, that they don't like me because of how I look. I'll put it like that. But if I was just kind of like at the club or something like that, and just being like, "Hey, excuse me, I need to get to the bartender" or something like that, I kind of feel like sometimes I'll get like the little twisty face at times, and I don't feel like I got
Like,
that
how
when I
dare
was
your
smaller.
fat ass come over here and say something to me?
Exactly. Like, how dare you talk to me? So yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah, that's interesting. That was vulnerable. That was stripped down. That was raw. So I appreciate that. But yeah,
hmm
I don't know. For as long as I've known you, like I've never seen that, because from my vantage point, everybody loves Jeff. Like, you're the one that does not have any enemies. Now, me on the other hand, yeah, people can't stand my ass. But you, it's like, oh, I love Jeff now. Him, yeah, I don't know. But yeah, so I never would have known that.
Yep. And you also have to remember that, I'm talking about experiences that I can't really replicate.
Yeah.
I'm talking about experiences that I've had when my mindset was a certain way. And, I can't really say that that's Bible chapter and
Mm-hmm.
verse exactly my experience. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Because these are things that are really subjective to me and my feeling and where I'm at that time. Because
Mm-hmm.
who knows? There's someone for everyone, and it could just be that I'm overthinking it in that way. It may not have been that way at all, but that's the way I've perceived it.
Mm-hmm.
So if my the only other thing that I can really do is be like, all right, well, let me try to lose weight and get into this certain body again and see if am I
That
going to be
changes.
getting those? Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
so we'll see.
Okay.
Not that it really matters to me anyway, but again, my focal point is just to be healthier, not
Yeah, yeah.
necessarily be sexier.
Yeah. So that's what you want to achieve
Hmm.
next year is to get sexy. Because you got a
Healthy.
milestone. Oh, I'm not sexy. I mean, yeah, healthy. That's right. Yeah. Because
Yeah, I
you
have
got
a
yeah,
milestone. I
you
have a
have a
milestone
milestone coming
too,
up
but
next year. Yeah.
yeah. So I mean, there's part of the motivation as well. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I don't. This is the heaviest that I think I've been.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't feel like my clothes fit that much differently. But I mean, I can still
Mm-mm.
wear some stuff that I could wear, you know, 6 months ago.
Like,
Um,
and I don't see it. Like, and I guess that's because I see you with different eyes. Like,
mhm.
I don't. I'm. You look the exact same from when we met.
Well,
Even though, yeah, even though that that's not necessarily true, but it's like, nah, that's Jeff. That's he. I
mhm.
mean, he looks about the same. Like, I don't know.
That's because I think my core build is just what it is. Like I've
Okay.
always had the chest, I've had the shoulders without having
Mm-hmm.
to really work out. So once I started working out, and those things just kind of grew into their natural shape, they just became bigger versions of themselves or
Mm-hmm.
whatever. Yeah, so my frame, I don't really feel like it's changed that much, and
Mm-hmm.
that's probably it. So
Okay, yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I was like, yeah, it's like, nah, you've kind of always looked the same. You're the same yesterday, today, and forevermore.
mhm.
To me. So I don't know, unless you got super small. Now I know that like when we first met, I was definitely a lot smaller than I am now.
Oh yeah, you were a
But
string bean.
and I didn't see it. I did not
Mhm.
see it. I was like, I am still fat. And then now I'm like, ta-da, fat. So, but
Yep,
but
yep,
yeah,
yep.
that's a little different. Was there anything that you thought was amazing that happened to you this year?
The biggest thing that happened to me was just starting, this new relationship that I'm in. So I would say that's
Yeah.
been the most amazing thing. And that kind of went with me expanding my social circle intentionally. And just being like, hey, I'm gonna go to this event, meet this guy. He knows the guy that came with. Next thing you know, we've exchanged numbers, and the rest is history. So
Hmm.
yeah, getting to know my dude has been the biggest thing that's happened to me. Most amazing moment this year. So
Nice,
yeah,
nice, nice.
yeah. What about you?
And I'm happy for you. I bought a couch.
Oh, oh, that's
That was
right. You.
amazing. It was so amazing. Okay. So it's been awesome. But yeah, that's definitely something that was I ain't gonna say a milestone or anything, but it was something that I enjoyed. But that didn't even happen until fucking October. But it happened this year. But I mean, I think there wasn't one amazing thing that happened. It was just everything was pretty steady this year for me. Like it was, there were some highs throughout the year and some
Mhm.
points where things were, really cool. And then there were some points where it was just normal. So I really didn't have a lot of like lows like that. I thank God for that.
Mm.
Even though, I know the year is not completely over. So I hope that I don't experience that. And I hope I didn't jinx myself. But there were some things that were pretty stable this year. So this year, some people are like, oh, this was a horrible year for me, and you always get that. You get people every year that are like, oh, fuck so and so and so and so, or whatever
Mhm.
year, fuck insert year. But it wasn't bad. And I haven't really had horrible years in a while. Like I said, I thank God for that because I could have. I could have been I could have been on the street. I could have been a lot of different places,
Yeah.
and I haven't been. So I'm grateful for that. So nothing one, not one amazing thing other than my couch, which I
Yeah.
love.
The couch that I missed by
That you
a couple of
missed
days.
by a couple days, because
I
soon
didn't
as
get
you
to see
left,
it.
it got here that Tuesday after you left, and I was like, man, I hate he didn't get to see this, but
Womp
I'm gonna
womp.
break it in. Yeah, I'm gonna break it in for you. So by the time you come back, it will still be here. So
Awesome.
mhm.
Looking forward to that.
Yep.
So looking forward to that. Looking forward to 2025 and what that'll bring. So I mentioned before, I'm looking forward to, getting in shape and getting healthier. But aside from that, as I mentioned, I had some professional challenges this year, that I'm
Mhm.
working on. And I think with a lot of people, in the, how shall I say, the return of the person that will be president. A lot of people are trying to
Oh,
get their
yeah.
ducks in a row. And for me, I'm looking into, possible some expanded educational opportunities for myself.
Mhm.
So we're going to, speak and put that out in the
There you go.
universe
That's it.
and, see if I have the mental rigor, the mental bandwidth to
There's
endure
your
the
word,
rigors.
bandwidth. That's it.
Right. To endure the rigor of some more education next year. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the possibility of that. And as you mentioned, I've got a milestone coming up
Mhm.
later. Next year, not later. And we'll see, what goes on with the celebration of all of that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm hopeful for 2025, despite having a disappointing first week of November. But we roll with the punches, and
Mhm. Mhm.
we will rise.
Yeah. We'll get through it.
Yeah.
Definitely. I would like to see this grow. This podcast. I would
Okay.
love to see us reach more people. I would love to see us have more fun, with this. I would love to see more guests come on. I'd love to see us do things that are important to
Mm,
the community and do it in a way that is received, by our community. So that's absolutely something I've enjoyed the ride. I'm enjoying the ride. So I'm hoping that we will continue to do this and continue to, really open doors, not only for ourselves, but for, everybody who's rocked with us, from day one. So
yeah,
definitely looking forward to that.
we have some day ones.
Yeah, we do. And I'm definitely, I love all of our day ones and our day 31s, um, in that. So I'm looking forward to achieving that. And, I'd like to be in a stable-esque sort of relationship. I'd love to have that. I'd love for somebody to come and scoop me off the market, at least for a little while. So
Have you delete those apps off the
delete those
phone?
apps, or at least, log off them for a while,
Hmm.
so we'll see how that happens, or see if that happens.
You
Um,
deserve, and I want
yeah,
that for
yeah,
you.
yeah. So we'll see. But, it's really just, a lot more professional growth and a lot more uh peace, in everything that I do, and more love, more engagement, all of those positive things. Good vibes, good
Good
vibes.
vibes.
I'll just kind of wrap it up with that. Yeah.
Good vibes, indeed. Yes, we love a good vibe.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
positivity
And
to end the year.
positivity.
Positivity.
Bespoke positivity.
Well,
I just wanted to throw that word
it
in
can
there,
be bespoke.
since bespoke and bandwidth are your B's,
Yeah, it
So
can be bespoke. Sure,
mhm.
sure.
That's
Well,
that's that's merch.
You know, bespoke is more my word, but bandwidth is a work word. So it's just one of those things that's trickled down from corporate America.
That's right.
Indeed.
America, all of America.
All right. Well, I guess that's it for us this evening on this holiday episode. So we are going to wish you, our listeners, your loved ones, your family, genetic family, and chosen family, Happy New Year. And
now we gotta do it like the old sitcoms used to do.
Oh Lord.
You know.
How did they do it?
From all of us to all of you, we wish you a happy holidays.
Happy holidays. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays, yeah. And be a hoe and do all of those things, yes. But from all of us here at Just Drawz to all of you at home, we wish you all of that.
Exactly.
And we have to all be sitting on the couch and you know,
in sweaters,
yeah,
with the popcorn necklaces and the popcorn strung around the tree. Yep. Exactly. Yep. Just like that.
So thank y'all for listening and rocking with us, and we will definitely see y'all in the new year.
Indeed, 2025.
Yep.
Peace
and love, everybody. We hope you enjoyed this episode. Now be sure to like, share, and follow us on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Podcasts, and Spotify at Just Drawz. That's JUSTDRAWZ. Until next time,